Oh lord, what am I doing? Why am I analyzing ships? Soukoku, of all ships. Soukoku is undoubtedly the most popular ship in the entire Bungo Stray Dogs series. Honestly, as they should be though, they're actually low-key kind of funny, and I know I shit on Soukoku and their fans a lot, but like low-key, I'm a Soukoku enjoyer myself. So yeah, they're actually one of my favorite character duos in Bungo Stray Dogs. I just can't stand 99% of Soukoku shippers. But I mean, after we got actual footage of Asagiri holding a Soukoku flag up, Soukoku might as well be canon now. No, but for real, I see so much mischaracterization from most Soukoku shippers, and a lot of them only focus on Fan and Soukoku. So yeah, that's why I'm here. I'm going to just clear things up by going on the biggest, fattest rant ever, since they're one of my favorite character duos, and I'm honestly really sick and tired of all the mischaracterization and misunderstandings. Yay! I'm going to start by just stating the obvious. Dazai and Chuya hate each other. This has been made obvious throughout the entire series, but they also care very deeply about each other at the same time, whether they like to admit it or not. They never even think of saying it out loud to each other, but they really do care a lot about each other, and it's literally shown to us throughout the entire Bungo Stray Dogs series. Their first interaction that we see from them in like the main manga or anime is when Dazai was taken by the mafia, and Dazai knew exactly how to escape, but he didn't. He stayed longer than he needed to so that he could see Chuya again. Kinda gay if you ask me. Dazai and Chuya also didn't really have a reason to talk after Dazai left the mafia, since, you know, they're not partners anymore. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Also, something that I want to point out that I see a lot of people saying that I just don't agree with whatsoever is that Chuya cried or whatever when Dazai left the mafia. Being realistic, I don't really think that Chuya would be sitting here being a little crybaby over Dazai leaving the mafia. I mean, he definitely did feel something when Dazai left, but he wasn't being a crybaby. I mean, they worked together for years, and then Dazai just left him. I don't think anyone in that situation would be happy. When Dazai and Chuya interacted for the first time in years in chapter 22, or for you anime watchers, the end of season 1, Chuya seemed a bit sensitive when Dazai mentioned how they used to be partners. I'm assuming this is a sensitive topic for Chuya, and Dazai bringing up was just his breaking point, causing him to snap and just beat the shit out of Dazai. And Dazai just kind of let it happen because like he knew he messed up. And Chuya also mentioned how he celebrated Dazai leaving by drinking. I feel like this was his way of saying, I just drowned my problems in alcohol. So when people say Chuya's being a little crybaby after Dazai left, I feel like this was more what happened. Like he just drank all his problems away. I mean, to be fair, Dazai just up and left the mafia without saying anything to Chuya other than blowing up his car. So that probably left Chuya feeling abandoned and confused about why his partner just left him without saying anything. But he also knew Dazai probably better than anyone else did, so eventually he probably was able to put the pieces together and understand why Dazai left. And can we just be real for a second here? Do Dazai and Chuya have an actual reason to hate each other as much as they say they do? I don't think so. See, the way I see it is obviously they both grew up in very toxic environments, so they were both never shown what actual love is and just don't know how to have a healthy relationship, causing them to hate each other, I guess, and just constantly fight and argue with each other since it's all they've known, and showing their love for each other more through actions than their words. To them, hating each other is just an easier thing to express for such an intense emotion like love. They very clearly don't hate each other as much as they say they do, like I said earlier. And I mean, I could maybe see why Chuya would dislike Dazai, because Dazai's annoying. He literally goes out of his way to rage bait everybody, especially Chuya. But a small detail about Dazai that I noticed and just want to point out real quick is that the only people that Dazai like actually goes out of his way to rage bait and troll are people that he's really close to. Sort of like a really annoying love language, and I love that about him. And can we also talk about the trust that they put into each other though? Me personally, I would not trust anyone with my life the way Chuya and Dazai do. They've literally risked their lives to save each other many times throughout the series. They've trusted each other to keep each other alive, to save each other when the other was in danger, fight when the other one wasn't able to. In Dead Apple, Chuya literally risked his life and fought a whole ass dragon by himself to save Dazai, not even knowing if Dazai was still alive. And when Chuya was helping Dazai escape prison, they both risked their lives for each other, and Dazai literally let Chuya shoot him for their plan to work, trusting that Chuya wouldn't actually kill him. They very clearly trust and depend on each other a lot without even realizing it. One of my favorite things about Dazai and Chuya's dynamic is that they're literally perfect for each other. Like, come on. Chuya isn't able to control himself while using corruption, and he relies on Dazai to save him, and Dazai's the only known person in Bungo Stray Dogs who is able to save him from his ability. I don't care if you view Soukoku as platonic or romantic. If that doesn't tell you that they're meant for each other, then man, I don't know what does. And pointing out another small detail, whenever Chuya is using corruption, the only thing that he's able to recognize is Dazai's name. Dazai also always lets Chuya decide whether or not he wants to use corruption, and he always comes up with a backup plan in case Chuya does not want to use corruption. And I absolutely love how whenever Chuya uses corruption, Dazai looks at Chuya with nothing but admiration, which was shown and mentioned many times. Dazai literally adores Chuya, and again, whether you want to view their ship as platonic or romantic, it has been shown to us many times in so many different ways. A common misunderstanding that I see a lot of non-Soukoku shippers believing is that Dazai and Chuya just do not like each other whatsoever. Like I mentioned before, they do dislike each other, but they also care a lot about each other. May I remind you that Chuya was likely Dazai's first reason to live for a very long time. In the 15 light novel / manga, Dazai said he no longer wanted to die, and then went on this whole rant about death, and yeah. But realize how Chuya was the one who made him realize all of this. Honestly, I love the Dazai makes Chuya feel human and Chuya makes Dazai feel alive concept so much. I mean, yes, when Chuya asked Dazai if he wanted to live now, Dazai was like, oh no, I wouldn't go that far. But he found a reason to live in Chuya. That reason being he wanted to work Chuya like a dog. No, but for real, my point is that Chuya made Dazai feel something after a long time of not feeling anything. We're also shown through other smaller details that they care a lot about each other and know each other extremely well. For example, Dazai's whole little come back to me speech during the prison arc. Silly moments between them, such as Dazai implying that he draws on Chuya's face while he's asleep, something that a lot of people who are close with each other will do. In Bungo Stray Dogs 1, when Dazai and Atsushi swap bodies, Chuya immediately knew that it wasn't Dazai. Dazai has the way that Chuya fights and breathes memorized. Dazai also wrote 27 books about how much he hates Chuya. Dazai started yapping to Oda about Chuya one time at the bar. They both spent 7 years thinking of ways to kill each other. During the 15 arc, when Dazai was shooting that dead body and laughing, Chuya stopped him and seemed genuinely concerned for Dazai and his mental state, and Dazai literally told Chuya the words, I love you. They clearly care a lot about each other, whether they like to admit it or not. And quick little rant about Beast. I absolutely love Chuya and Dazai's dynamic in Beast so much, and I love like how in Beast Dazai and Chuya talked about leaving the mafia together, and then when Dazai died, Chuya ended up crashing flip out and he tried destroying Yokohama. Like, there's so many things that is shown to us that shows that Chuya and Dazai, even in other universes. Now for you desperate Soukoku shippers that can't tell the difference between your yaoi fanfiction and actual canon Soukoku, and for you people who genuinely believe that your ship is canon, then here's your stupid little was it casual moments that I think of for Soukoku. So, was it casual that Chuya was the only person that Dazai has actually said the words I love you out loud to? Is any of that gay-ass official Soukoku art with Dazai and Chuya in romantic situations casual? Was that gay-ass scene in Dead Apple casual? Dazai literally knew that the fog wouldn't affect Chuya's ability, so what was shoving his face into your crotch about Dazai? So everything I'm about to say is just my opinion on the ship with a romantic view on it, but I personally don't ship Soukoku unless it's with Dazai and the Mafia, Beast included. Any other timelines, I guess, of Soukoku, I just can't see them as anything more than one of those I miss my ex situationships. God, how I love Doomed Yaoi. But yeah, like I said, this is all just my personal opinion on the ship. Romantic wise, please keep in mind that they are canonically a platonic duo. Asagiri himself has literally said that they have no romantic feelings for each other and never will. It's fine to ship them romantically and have your own personal headcanons on them, of course, but that's for fanfiction, so just try to keep it away from actual canon stuff, because at the end of the day, Soukoku will never be made officially canon. But yeah, overall, Soukoku is a really good character duo, whether you view their relationship as platonic or romantic. I think that Asagiri did such an amazing job at writing both Triya's and Dazai's characters, both individually and as a duo. He clearly has put a lot of effort into writing their character dynamic, and both of them, again, as individual characters. They both clearly need each other for character development and both have impacted each other a lot throughout the series. They're both amazing and well-written characters, and same with their dynamic.